This is all that remains of the Ahamkara, then. Even like this, in its silence, it could move worlds. The damage the Scorn could have caused had one of them realized what they possessed. We'll secure the bones and make sure this can't happen again.
Yeah. This makes me a little worried about the hidden cost of our deal with Riven.
That thought has crossed my mind.
Petra, I've never apologized to you for what you're still going through.
There's no need. It wasn't you.
I'm sorry. He is too. Completely. If I could wish it away.
No. You're helping break the cycle. That should be more than enough.
Is this bone all that's left? Not much of a territorial claim.
Death is not the end for an Ahamkara. If it's feeding, it exists.
That bone's radiating sterile neutrinos. Taken energy?
Yes, like poison in the marrow. But I don't understand how. It's like the Ahamkara here was feeding off the Taken, preying on their desire to fulfill a purpose. We understand what that's like.
They do like things that loop in on themselves. I thought only Riven dealt with the Taken.
Xivu and the Witness are indisposed. Many Taken are masterless. It's possible a strong will, like an Ahamkara, could have drawn them in.
Or maybe the Scorn wished them here.
Any Scorn making a wish probably doesn't realize they're doing it. At least let's hope not.
The Great Hunt doesn't seem to have stopped Ahamkara from granting wishes. It's a shame to shed so much blood for so little return.
They were beautiful creatures, but venomous with guile. It's true the hunt wasn't all motivated by safety. Ahamkara were a threat, but as you noted, their bones are still trophies. Some Guardians continue to wear them for power and status.
Like I said, a shame. Ahamkara were all across Seoul. Maybe they're not all dead. I wonder who this one was. sit around enough campfires with Saladin, and you hear about castles like this. There was this warlord in the Dark Age named,
don't start.
Naeem. She drank with a warlord who'd felled a shape-shifting beast. He led her to the beast's lair, a castle in snowy peaks. Inside was a skull that whispered promises. I always thought Saladin was just blowing smoke.
You found your people. Guardians do love their myths and stories.
Wait. Guardian. The knights you fought are marked. Something we did with the barons.
Crow, you aren't responsible for this. These Scorn didn't come from the reef.
I'm not seeing things. It's a signature in the dark ether.
Fickrell has been missing from the shore for some time. You can let this go.
Naeem and Hefend, that's the Ahamkara's name. They've become friends. Pretty tragic, actually. Saladin said their bond was like a mutual domestication. But it wasn't long before the House of Kings stormed the castle.
When the kings came, I take it Naeem didn't survive them?
No. And in her final breath, she wished ruin on their house. That her vengeance follow them into the grave. Very particular wording. Uldren had history with the House of Kings. That's what led to the Scorn in the first place.
I'm familiar with your history, but the banners here are ancient.
Like from the Dark Age? You know that warlord? The skull promised her anything she wanted. She offered that promise to surrounding villages. For tribute, of course. Brokered their wishes and protected against consequences. Naeem's reputation spread until... Any guesses, Petra?
She drew attention from the House of Kings, who coveted this power.
This all feels personal. Uldren links to the kings, both linked to Fickrell. My one dangling thread.
Step back from yourself. New Scorn Rising drew Fickrell's attention, King's no less. What if this was a diplomatic envoy? The witnesses' scorn are empty flesh-made weapons, but the scorn here appear to express a crude culture.
Fickrell's followers have always been different, capable of learning. Maybe he saw that potential here.
Then maybe you can still get through to him.
This has to be the castle from Saladin's story. The Scorn have to be kings. It's the only thing that makes sense. Heaven was buried here since the Dark Age, but the instant he could, he lured the Taken in. Poisoned himself, feeding off their ties for the darkness, their want. He found a loophole to raise the kings into scorn and enact his friend's dying wish for revenge.
Holding on to that anger for what? Centuries? Just to destroy itself with taking corruption. Of course. Vengeance is an Ouroboros, and everything cyclical is doomed to destroy itself eventually.